Okay, it's time to continue our discussion of dramatic structure. We began with character types, but now we're going to go into the dramatic structure elements. If you recall, dramatic structure is the structure of a story, specifically plays, movies, or TV shows. Just as you can analyze a recipe for a cake, how and when each ingredient is added, you can analyze the components that make up a story and discover when and how each element contributes to the story. That is an examination of dramatic structure. In the latter part of the 19th century, Gustav Freytag further developed dramatic theory into what is known as Freytag's pyramid. Our examination focuses more on the struggle of the protagonist than on how the story impacts the audience. This somewhat more complex dramatic structure chart is only slightly altered from Freytag's pyramid, created more than 3 centuries ago. The dramatic structure we're using includes the following: balance, inciting incident, exposition, major conflict, complications, climax, resolution, and a new balance. To begin with is balance. Balance describes the protagonist's life before the story begins. In the original Toy Story, Woody is clearly Andy's favorite toy. The movie begins with the song "You've Got a Friend in Me" as Andy plays with Woody. We see Andy's room decorated with a Woody bedspread and drawings of Woody everywhere. In Rear Window, this would describe L.B. Jeffries' life as an adventure photographer. We are shown several photographs seemingly taken all over the world, in a variety of situations and places. In Better Off Dead, we see Lane is obsessed with his girlfriend and is a skier. Which takes us to the inciting incident. The inciting incident breaks the balance of the protagonist's life and sets the story in motion. In Toy Story, the inciting incident is Andy's birthday party, where he receives Buzz Lightyear. Buzz Lightyear soon becomes Andy's favorite toy, which shatters Woody's world. In Rear Window, it would be L.B. Jeffries breaking his leg and hip. Unable to travel and seek out adventure, this completely upends L.B.'s life. In Better Off Dead, Lane doesn't make the ski team, and Beth breaks up with him. The balance and the inciting incident together make up a story's exposition. This would include all the elements of setting, status, and relationships as well. During the development of the story, through balance and the inciting incident, we learn the who, what, when, where, why, and how of the protagonist's life. In Toy Story, this would include Woody's position as a leader amongst the toys and the world of the toys. In Rear Window, this would include L.B. Jeffries' relationships with Stella and Lisa, as well as the extent of his injuries and all his neighbors. In Better Off Dead, we learn Lane skis and is dating Beth. We also learn about his family and meet several other people in his life, such as Monique and the boys who always went to car race with him. And that leads us to the major conflict. Due to the impact of the inciting incident on our protagonist, there is now something the protagonist wants but can't have. That want is the story's major conflict. Actors call this the character objective. It is also referred to as the goal. In Toy Story, Woody wanting to be Andy's favorite toy again is the major conflict. In Rear Window, L.B. Jeffrey wants the adventure he's been missing. In Better Off Dead, Lane wants to be on the ski team and get his girlfriend back. So now the protagonist is out to get what they want, the major conflict. There are various complications keeping the protagonist from achieving this objective. As the character makes good and bad choices and faces different obstacles, these complications make up the bulk of the story. In Toy Story, by trying to become Andy's favorite toy again, Woody knocks Buzz out a window. He and Buzz get lost, and he causes his friends to think he's killed Buzz. All these things complicate his objective. In Rear Window, L.B. Jeffries falls asleep and doesn't see Lars leaving in the morning with the woman disguised as his wife. Stella just misses getting the name of the moving company, and Detective Tom Doyle, quote-unquote, proves Lars Thorwald is innocent. In Better Off Dead, Lane does everything from trying to ski to K-12, to getting Beth a present, to trying to kill himself. And now we're to the turning point. As the protagonist struggles toward the goal, there will be ups and downs, but in most stories, there comes a point when all hope is lost. It looks like the protagonist has failed and cannot achieve their major conflict. At that point, the pivotal character introduces a new option, the turning point, that reignites the protagonist's pursuit towards their objective. In Toy Story, when Andy's other toys refuse to rescue Woody because they are convinced he killed Buzz, it appears all hope is lost. Woody will never see Andy again. Soon thereafter, Buzz is repaired by the mutant toys, and Woody realizes they are friends who can help. When Sid takes Buzz away to blow him up, Woody enlists the help of the mutant toys to rescue Buzz and stop Sid. The mutant toys are the pivotal character, or characters in this case, who reignite Woody's pursuit of his objective. This is the turning point. In Rear Window, the dog dies, and Lars is the only person who doesn't come to the window. In Better Off Dead, when Lane has a broken ski and can't ski the K-12, the Paperboy appears, forcing Lane to start skiing in order to escape. Now we're to the climax, and the climax is quite simple. The climax is when the protagonist fails or succeeds to achieve their goal. In Toy Story, the climax is the moment Woody and Buzz fall through the sunroof into the car with Andy. In Rear Window, the climax is when Lisa shows LV she has the ring, proving Lars killed his wife. In Better Off Dead, the climax is when Lane beats Roy Stalin and wins back Beth. Finally, we're to the resolution. The resolution is the result of the climax. In Toy Story, the resolution is all the toys at Andy's new house, with things back to a new normal where Woody and Buzz are friends. In Rear Window, the resolution comes when Lars Thorwald sees LB, causing Lars to try to kill LB for ruining his life. In Better Off Dead, Lane realizes he no longer wants Beth, but instead loves Monique. Lane and Rick duel with ski poles. And finally, we've reached the new balance. The new balance is the protagonist's life after this journey. In Toy Story, the balance has been restored with all the toys excited and worried about the new toys Andy is getting for Christmas. They realize that there is actually something scarier than any new toy, a puppy. In Rear Window, the new balance is when we see all of the neighbors and how they're doing. We also see LB Jeffrey has a second broken leg, and Lisa is there but not in a dress, she's wearing blue jeans. In Better Off Dead, the new balance is Lane and Monique going to a Dodgers game. The Paperboy approaches them. Lane's dad has fixed the garage windows again, and Lane's brother sends his shuttle into space. Again, dramatic structure includes the following elements: balance, inciting incident, exposition, major conflict, complications, climax, resolution, and a new balance. In the best case scenario, you will be able to apply what you've learned about dramatic structure to any movie, story, play, or even television show you enjoy. It will offer you a greater insight into all stories you experience in the future.